Hi Capricorn, welcome to November 2019. And this year went really, really fast, like quicker than I thought it was going to. We are really building up to that first eclipse that's going to happen in Capricorn season with the Capricorn new moon on the 26th of December. So, and this eclipse is going to be really interesting because it'll be trining Uranus. So there's definitely going to be big changes with the eclipse in your sign. You guys have really been focused on work a lot. And I know, and I'm not even saying that as the stereotype that you guys are Capricorns and everybody thinks that you guys just work all the time and you don't have any feelings. Like, that's not where I'm going with this, okay? Hear me out. Your focus has been on work, but it's on what you are enjoying about it. It's like really expanding yourself into bigger possibilities, what you actually want to do versus what you have to do to make a living. You know what I mean? You're allowing yourself to see things in a way where work can be enjoyable, right? You don't just have to be the workhorse all the time, constantly, and be miserable in your life. You can actually enjoy what you do as well. And I think November is going to bring a lot of that to the forefront. Yes, we have Mercury retrograde in your 10th house of work. So just be really discerning, pay attention to equipment breaking. Pay attention, just make sure you're being extra safe. I feel like that's really where you guys need to no, I'm not trying to put any kind of fear on you. I don't like it when people do like the fear-mongering Mercury retrograde reading. I'm not going to do that. Mercury, the reason why the energy is so strong is because the planet is actually closer to Earth than usual. So, the energy of Mercury, and that's where the mishaps come in and all of that. That's why I'm just telling you, since it's in your 10th house and it's in your career sector, just be careful on the job. Just be a little extra careful. You have a calling. And that's where you're focusing. That's what you're focusing on right now. With Judgment, it's almost as if you're realizing what you have to do, that it's time. It's time for you to get out of your own way. It's time for you to stop telling yourself that you can't do it anymore. If this doesn't have to do with work, if it has to do with a relationship, it could go either way, because you can have a 2 of Cups relationship with people that you work with too, because this is just a soulmate. It's not necessarily a romantic. But if this is dealing with a relationship where you feel like there was some kind of betrayal that happened with the 5 of Swords, you're sitting with it. You're like not giving it any time or space to breathe. You have been, how do I put this? You've been like wallowing in it almost. And I feel like you really want something to change about either one particular relationship or all relationships that you're in. Yeah, Justice. You could be dealing with a Libra energy. But she has the Wheel of Fortune above her head in the Justice card. And you have to know that the Justice card is Judgment also. Something has to change. There's something that needs to change here, because you don't want to be in the 5 of Swords when you're on the precipice of like breaking out of existence, breaking out of like what you've been sitting in and where you've been sitting in it. You know what I mean? And then we have the Page of Cups. And something has to change because you want more out of life. This Page of Cups is saying, I want more, and I don't want to have to beg for it. So if this has to do with a relationship, clearly you feel deceived in some way, or you're not getting what you want out of the relationship or out of the connection. The Knight of Cups makes me feel like there's either, maybe, do you feel like you need an apology? Or do you feel like you need to apologize? And I want you to be honest with yourself, because just because there's a little bit of pride in the way when it comes to apologizing for something, just be honest. Let's see what Judgment is. Oh, yeah. See? Somebody's feeling for real guilty about something. The Seven of Swords on Judgment. Capricorn, I don't know, man. I feel like you feel like you've been done wrong in some way. And I don't particularly like that you feel that way. I sort of feel like, why are you still in it? Do you want to feel guilt? I mean, it's weird. It's like, why would you want to stay in something that you feel deceived in? I mean, if it's longevity, like if you've been with a person for a really long time and and this, again, this doesn't have to be in a relationship. This could be at work. Where, why are you staying in an atmosphere or an environment when clearly you feel, I don't know, it's like is it your loyalty that makes you feel guilty for walking away from a work thing? I get that. I can understand that. I have to sneeze. So if that comes out, I sneeze really loud. So I apologize if I make anybody jump if I sneeze really loud. So just letting you know, because it'll just happen. Like, I have to preempt the sneeze with an apology. It's just starting. So we'll see. We'll see if it actually happens or if I can make it go away. So with the Two of Cups, we have the Moon and the Nine of Cups. And these are clarifying the Two of Cups. So clearly, I don't even know if you know what it is that you want. I feel like with the Moon and the Nine of Cups, it's like you know what you desire. But I think what you're doing to yourself is, it's like you know the kind of partnership you want, whether it's a romantic partnership or it's a work partnership or whatever. You have an idea of what it is that you want. But see, I think the fear of not knowing either what you're getting yourself into or the next step to take is what is what's holding you back, and maybe why you have stayed where you are for so long. Some of you think that the relationship that you're in right now is the one that you're supposed to be in, and that's the one that you want really, really badly, but you're not seeing everything clearly, and you need to be really honest with yourself, because if you've been deceived by this person, could be, I have Libra, I have Cancer, or Pisces. I feel like there are things that aren't being said in the relationship. If you feel like this is the relationship that you're supposed to be in, I feel like there are either things that aren't being said, or there are things that aren't being, I feel like you're being lied to. We'll just put it out that way. But you thought that this was the one. And then you quickly realize that this is not the one because of the things that they've done and said. Let's see what the Five of Swords is. But for some reason, I feel like with Judgment and the Seven of Swords, it's saying it's time for you got to get away from it. And, yeah, the Five of Swords and the Four of Cups, I feel like you've been apathetic for too long. And I think that that's where you kind of sabotaged yourself, is you became really apathetic in the situation, whether it's romantic or work or whatever, wherever this situation is resonating in your life. It's with another person, somebody that you feel very, very close to, or a situation that you feel really close to, that you feel deceived in now. Like you feel like you've been deceived and you ignored it for long enough. And it's time for you to not ignore it anymore, because you're coming up, Capricorn. You want more out of life. You're coming up. You're already making changes for the positive for you. But I think this Mercury retrograde, because it really is going to be all of November. I mean, it's going to be from October 31st until November 20th, right? And we have, Mercury is going to be squaring off. Is it going to be in a square? No, it's going to be in a sextile. Mercury is going to be in a sextile with Pluto and Saturn. So there are going to be changes and transitions as we move into your season. But you have some new creative endeavors to really allow yourself. And see, here's the thing, is if you're dealing with a Libra energy, because the Empress represents Venus and Libra, or a Taurus energy as well, I feel like it's very apologetic. I feel like there's growth. The Empress makes me feel like, because she's the mother, she's the, impregnated. She's the creator. There's growth where there's love, is what I want to say. So all of these situations that you're going through, I feel like your justice behind it is approaching it with a softness that a lot of people probably don't see from you. You know what I mean? It feels like, because you do have to be the adult. You have to be the one that takes care. And that was just the mission that you were given in this lifetime. It's not like you're being punished. Virgos have to be adults. Tauruses have to be adults. Capricorns are adults. We're the earth signs. We're the grounded ones. We get things done, right? It's not to torture us. It's to help us grow as souls, right? Our souls ascend and they grow through the journey in this lifetime. I know, I went there. I went to the esoteric world. Here's the thing, is I feel like the justice in everything that has happened to you with this situation of feeling like you had to pull back and be apathetic because you were so deceived. The justice is in seeing where you can give it love, not because you're just going to roll over and accept your fate, right, or whatever, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you give it love, you can see it from a different perspective, and you can see it. You can see it. They're showing me a picture and I'm trying to just decipher it. You know what I'm saying? You can see it grow through the love that you're giving it. You know what I mean? Let's see what justice is. Yeah, exactly. Growth. You can plant the seeds. You can see where this made you who you are. You can see how it really allowed you to manifest new things into your life. Seven of Pentacles on justice. And then let's see what the Page of Cups is. And this is really the thing, Capricorn, with this last card that came out, the bottom of the deck, is the Knight of Pentacles. So not skipping the steps is very important. The Nine of Wands on the Page of Cups. And this is exactly what I'm saying, where you don't want to have to beg or battle for what you want anymore. And this is not, you can't manifest when you're like fighting for something, you know, when you constantly feel like you're in fight mode, you cannot manifest. It's very hard to manifest things when you're in fight mode. And so instead of constantly beating your head up against a brick wall, just keep moving forward and don't skip the steps, and make sure that you're being open and honest as you move forward, right? To not let people get you stuck, to not let people get in the way of whatever that you're doing. You have to be open and honest. Healthy, loving boundaries, right? This Page of Swords is a little bit sharper than a loving boundary, but it's still a boundary, being, you know, that you're having a conversation and you're like, I'm tired of fighting to get what I want here, so I'm just going to go after what I want. And I know that you're not on board with me with doing that. But I guarantee you that I will be a happier person. And so I just need you to allow me to do this. And this is going to open up doors of opportunity for you, because that's how you manifest. Ace of Wands and the Magician. Now, if this doesn't have to do with work and it's with a relationship, one that you felt deceived in, you allowing yourself to cut ties with that relationship and just keep it, like, for example, if you're married and you're getting divorced and there are kids involved, keeping it copacetic and having adult conversations and not getting your feelings involved in the adult conversations can make new opportunities emerge like out of nowhere. Because, and you allowing yourself to be strong and discerning within your singleness right now, with the Magician, the Ace of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles, you being strong and independent within your singleness will, bring you a lot of strong, stable happiness. And I feel like you need to focus on yourself. If this is a relationship person, so we have the Queen of Swords, so we've got Libra still some heavy Libra vibes. It could also be Aquarius or Gemini, but we have the Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. Don't get in your own way of your stability. Because if you're holding on to an idea of what your stability is supposed to look like, the Four of Pentacles on the Ten of Pentacles, if you're holding on to an idea of what that long-term happiness, abundance, and stability is quote unquote supposed to look like, I feel like you're going to be sadly disappointed. And you're already on the road to abundance and allowing yourself to see things from a brighter perspective. But I do feel like there is a certain you have to let go, Capricorn. You gotta let go a little. Just let it go a little, and see things from a different point of view. Yeah, and make sure you're checking out all of the jewelry that I wear. An amazing Capricorn jeweler. Thank you, Dell. And your amazing jewelry. You can find it on my website. This jade onyx ring is amazing. And the silver, I can't pronounce the silver, but it's like better than sterling. It's like better than sterling silver. and it's non-hypoallergenic. So all of the silver is non-hypoallergenic too. Anyways, and this necklace, there are different stones that are in these spiral pendants, and then we have the rings. So, and we're getting blue lapis rings too, but these jade onyx rings are really good for the heart chakra. Anyway, I thought I might show you guys that. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. I love these rings. And they're very lightweight. They're nice. Okay. So yeah. I just feel like you guys, like this has to be the month of you really focusing on your career and focusing on the future things that you really want to do. And, you know, I understand the grieving process when we lose certain situations or certain people in our life, but don't sit in it too long, because you know, and I know that that's like easier said than done. I've been through it before, I promise. Just remember who you are, and remember that if people aren't going to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, remember who you are. Really. And I'm doing the self-alignment course one more time in November. So November 10th, I'm doing the self-alignment course. It's only $44. I wanted to make it inexpensive. It's cheaper than a reading, and you get 2 hours of learning ways that you're blocking yourself from manifesting your best life. No matter what situation you're in, you can manifest your best life, and I'm going to tell you how. Okay? So get on that. I think that would be amazing for you guys in particular. And I'm not even trying to like obviously I'm not trying to make millions of dollars off of it, because it's only $44, but I want it to be accessible for everybody. But I think that this month would be really good for you guys. I told Taurus the same thing. I told Virgo the same thing. So I love you. Have a wonderful November. And I will see you guys for the mid-month love readings. And if you haven't checked the daily readings, the daily energy updates that I do, check those out as well. Bye.